Yeah, I want to start talking about what's the name? Gamers 8.
Gamers.
Please
8.
do.
Yeah, I think all of us were there.
Yeah.
It was a vibe.
It was vibes and energy.
That's for the people who missed out. I feel sorry for y'all. I would love to say that we wish you had y'all there, but no.
I feel sorry for myself.
I feel sorry for them too. Yeah. To be honest, like I'm a huge gamer, so being there and kind of seeing the one thing that I loved, I'm walking through it and I'm listening to all these game soundtracks that I'm recognizing. I'm like, I'm in the middle of Riyadh and this is blasting here.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's a good description of the vibe.
Yeah.
Until we got to the concert.
Oh, then the energy came.
Yeah. And then the energy came. It was yesterday was what's the name? The homies Entitled and Jeed and also Saud, Cali B, fucking Finest, Rayyan, Moeed Nafai. Who else was on stage? Shaolin. Who else, man? Entitled has like so many people with him. And shout out to everybody that was there. It was an experience.
Yeah, for sure.
It was an experience watching last year where the boys were, and giving a little bit of work at XP, and then watching now everybody's on stage locally in their own hometown. It was beautiful. For people who watched, I was backstage for Entitled.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: I wanted to come to you guys to watch the show, Entitled show with you guys. But I wanted to be there for him. I just want to be there in case he needs anything, and like. It was just so incredible, just watching him walk the stage. Anyone who saw Entitled at XP and saw this, it's like major fucking.
Well,
difference.
Here's the thing. I missed out on XP. I wasn't there for XP, and then the show they did at Middle Beast, I wasn't there. So this is the first time I'm seeing them live.
Oh,
and especially with Saud, Jeed, who I've met and I know. Entitled, I haven't really had much.
He's not important. Fucking Entitled.
In terms of personal relationship. But every time you mention Entitled, like, yo, you have to listen to him. You have to, you keep you're always shouting him out. So for me to see that for the first time, to see local artists.
Yeah, that's actually.
And remove the fact that whatever personal relationship I have with any of them, just seeing local artists moving the crowd like that.
Yeah.
And hearing the crowd sing the lyrics.
Dope.
And I'm going to be honest, I didn't know the lyrics. Like I listened to it, but I never really paid attention
I'm
to
Brent.
the lyrics.
I'm Brent.
But now I'm going to focus. I'm like, yo, this is actually like connecting and I should actually pay attention to more. And apologies, guys, that I wasn't paying attention to what you wrote.
Don't apologize. Come on. You're on the podcast. There's no apologies here.
All right, screw it. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb and say the lyrics involve the words, yo, a girl.
All right.
Okay.
Do you want to leave?
Okay.
Do you want to leave?
I'm going to assume the lyrics include those in some
Actually,
some
none
form.
of that, to
If
be
it's
honest.
not Japanese, you're not listening
It's
to it.
actually not.
Basically.
And the thing about Entitled that I like is he knows how to balance the Arabic and English.
Yeah.
And goes in and out.
No,
of
he's
both,
crazy, yeah.
Which
No one does it like he does.
no one does it like he does.
No
but
one does.
Seeing them on stage and seeing that, and I was, for me, it was like, okay, this is the first real step
Yeah.
that I've seen with local talents stepping up that way. And and with them, they created that lane here.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. It's their hard work.
You look at, for example, people who go to the concert yesterday. Let's say they don't know any of them, right? If now they go check Saud, there's a back catalog
Exactly.
of music. Jeed, back catalog. Entitled, back catalog-ish.
Back singles.
Back singles.
The album that would not fucking release Jeed.
You still didn't release it?
No, he still
I
didn't
released
release
3
it.
collections before him.
Yes. He
right.
still didn't release the fucking album.
4th one, releasing before Jeed released an album. but then, Entitled, you see, and with that, I'm looking into the features, right? Then I go to Aziz Wave, then I go to MBL, then I go to Cali B, and you're looking at this collective of artists that they have a huge catalog between them that I can vibe to, I can play, I can get into different styles, different
And quality.
lanes. Yeah. So for that, I was like, okay, but then you look at other people in the hip hop industry here. You look at them, they're like, they release 1 single a year. Even if, and it's like, and they're celebrated, like they've done it.
Well, that's the problem that
We'll
have.
get into that in a bit. So let's actually focus on the show.
But the show
was amazing.
Entitled killed it. We loved it. And then right after that, I know Jeed was coming on. And I was like, yo, I need to run and watch Jeed. So I dragged Entitled. We all went outside and we met with the boys. Everyone was there. Shout out to the homie Rex. He was there. I don't know, I wish him all the best. He's also sitting back there. But Rex was wild and
Rex was going nuts. The
Yeah.
best thing is he was maskless.
Yes, exactly. And nobody knew.
And nobody knew.
Yes, except us.
And the thing is, the problem is I mess up. I keep calling him by his real name and by Rex.
Yes.
Every now and then. So it's like I needed to.
See, I did a good job of ignoring his real name. So I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
But then,
That's the trick.
If
That's
you
the
say
trick.
Rex and he responds, and you're like, all right,
It works.
yeah, true. No one will know that that's the guy.
And then Jeed pulled up. Jeed is a crowd worker. That boy made them move. It was everything, bro. When Saud came out, it was wild. When Shaolin took over for a minute, it was wild. All of it, just watching back to back the homies who work so hard in the craft, who are so passionate and quality of work. Come on, Saud's drums. I mean, there's no one needs to speak when it comes to fucking drums. Saud knows exactly what the fuck he's doing. Everybody, Ntitled delivered, Saud delivered, Jeed delivered, Moin Nafair, everybody that got on stage delivered because all of them are so fucking passionate. And it was so beautiful to see an hour of people that we know have the quality, who deserve the love, who are good at what the fuck they do. It was amazing. It was, I swear to God. I don't want to say this about Calabi, but me and Calabi had a moment after because, thank you.
It's adorable.
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. I went like this, and he held my hand like this in the middle of the stage. We were like this.
Eye
holding each other's
contact.
hand. So eye contact, full eye contact, no blinking.
Did he say I can't quit you? Or what?
Yeah, I feel sorry for Calabi. Even when he's not here, I'm giving him shit. But
To be honest, that's on brand.
it is on brand. So it was just watching a packed house with our boys performing. It was just amazing. There was Russ. I don't know if you guys know him, but he was okay. He was good.
To be honest, I looked at Russ when he came out. كان واحد من العيال.
It is.
You know what I mean? It looks like he could be part of that.
I could have seen him at Moyed's house. I must have seen him at Entitled's house.
But it's. I think even for us, his huge following here,
Exactly. Everybody loves him.
that pushed him to another level as well.
Yes.
Because I know for a while in the US, he had a lot of hate and all that, but that dude hustled. I look at him.
He's a hustler.
I look at the same lane as the guys here. When he's like, all right, no one wants to play me.
I do it on my own.
I'm releasing one song a week until I blow up. So now, he made it. He owns his own stuff. And
he's on another level.
exactly.
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So
Oh, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh, he went on his own.
Well,
He owns his own
He
masters.
carved
He
his
owns
own
masters.
fucking way. He owns all his shit.
dope. That's
So all the
dope.
money
Yeah.
he makes is him.
Nice.
Yeah, there's no
record
middleman.
label, no nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, everybody showed up for him, and it was beautiful to see that the boys opening up for him. And they're like, we know where you guys are here for hip hop, right? Look at your local talent, what they have. And that was just a beautiful sight to see.
Yeah.
I wish everybody was there for it, but since nobody was there, it was sold out house.
Empty house.
You know what? How about we start the podcast?
I was just about to say, yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the podcast. This is the problem.
Now I feel like it's the pod.
Yeah, that's the podcast. Huh? Now you hear it.
Now I know nothing's gonna get cut.
Turks.
خلاص.
All right, that's enough.
Okay.
That's enough. Turks.
It's
72. Hey, welcome past the Kabsa. It's your boy Adam. What's happening? Was popping? Episode 172. I knew it all along.
I genuinely forgot. Well,
I got the homie Turks right behind me.
yo,
I got listen number one right next to me.
Konnichiwa.
Oh my God. Sadly, listen number one is not here. We deported him to Italy. He's on an investigation trip. He's investigating Italy.
Listener number one.
You mean
No,
Shams?
Shams. Oh, my bad. No, ew. Anyway.
You ruined the secrets.
Tikram. Well, anyway, Shams, he's on vacation. He's not on vacation. He's actually out to the homie's wedding. Shout out to Hussein and his beautiful wife. Wish all
Shout
the
out.
best. Shams went on behalf of the boys because we all couldn't travel. This is bullshit. But yeah, he must be enjoying himself right now, swimming in. What'd you say he was swimming in?
Carbohydrates.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
all right.
okay,
All right. Keeping it PG. Anyway, also, we have someone new on the podcast and we just, got it. I'm just joking.
I'm replacing Shamsi right now.
we got a
You're
sub teacher
amazing.
here. Yeah.
We have a special guest.
Substitute teacher.
someone that I really, really respect, and I can say love and hate at the same time.
I mean, it's just natural.
Thank you, I appreciate you. We have the homie Sultan Galag that we kept annoying the fuck out of him with them. All the shout outs.
Finally.
He actually has a face. He actually exists.
I think we've talked about. I think one of the first things you kind of mentioned to me is when are you going to come on the pod?
Definitely.
I remember the first time we sat down when we saw the agreement in hate.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very much.
There was a nice balance.
Exactly.
From the first time I talked to him, like I felt like I had a lost brother.
my brother in hate.
Yeah, exactly. We come together like we really hate on things.
Exactly.
You know?
It's very positive. It's very positive.
Not only that, I'm gonna tell you. So I remember the first time that you followed the podcast, and I geeked out. They didn't understand why. Okay, they had no clue why. Because Galag, before becoming the Galag, the clothing brand, it was actually a racing team that you guys used to go take on Gumball and so on. You guys are the owners of the famous Batmobile with the Saudi license plate.
Yep.
Both of them. Two
One
of them.
didn't work. One worked. Let's just be honest.
The second one was a Lamborghini that you turned into a Batmobile. That's a different conversation I want to have with you later on this one. Because you actually cut that up.
Personally, I didn't.
No, that
Well,
tech fan.
yeah, for Batman.
Just have to be.
For Batman. Exactly. For Batman. But I remember you guys from back in the day during that. And then I remember the clothing brand. And then when I saw you follow, I'm like, oh shit. Like, oh, okay, this is nice. And then when we started talking, like, yo, fuck, like I have like so much in common with this dude. And you always been so humble and so hateful.
Sounds like watching a chick flick. My God, what's happening here?
It's
You guys gonna hug?
Listen,
Yeah.
you just have no fucking feelings.
True.
No one loves you.
True.
And you die alone. All right? Just remember that. Now, stay in the corner.
Okay, fair point.
But
The alone part kind of got me, but yeah, okay.
the thing that we
Yeah,
always...
that's called being too
It's
real.
hard,
alone
man.
part.
Too real. Too real.
Not the death part, the alone.
Yeah,
the alone.
The alone part.
Why do you have to remind him?
We have to. So, got to the clothing brand. And then when we first started seeing clothing brand, like when the boys understood what Galag was, they understood the commitment. Like you are so fucking committed to this. And the beautiful thing about it, you're not committed in a way that you want to sell. No, you want to create. And like it's very hard to describe you to people. From writer, filmmaker, producer, director, creative director, fashion designer, does push-ups for no reason. Like there's like so many things that I can define you as. All right? Like, but you're so fucking good and creative in the way that you want to pave the way to the things that you want to get. And you do not look at anything else but what you want to really do. And you really like put in the fucking time and effort. And this speaks in the quality of all the things that you release.
And so he just said everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
It's
it.
done.
go.
It's
All right.
good.
Thank you, Sultan.
No,
Being
no.
here. We appreciate you.
But really,
Rex, take him out.
I appreciate all the,
Hate.
all the hate. No, but it's, you say you have a hard time describing me. I have a hard time describing myself because my thoughts are just everywhere. Like I said, in film, writing and all that.
مجموعة إنسان.
Anyway,
Sorry.
so,
I'm sorry.
but
I would have said Renaissance, man. But
Yes. I was gonna say Renaissance man, but yeah.
but it's not, I don't do it in order to be those things. And
That's true.
I never call myself a fashion designer. I still don't call myself a director, even though I've directed films, because I haven't done something that's available publicly that people can see and people can be like, okay, he's done that. I've produced movies that are public. But again, that's not the conversation we're gonna have within that industry. That's another.
That's a different.
That's
conversation.
another.
That's gonna
kind
be
of
round two.
worms.
That's gonna be round two.
Once I release something, then I have a right to talk.
Exactly.
But
Well, see, this is what I love about you. Like I told you 100 times, yo, come, let's have a conversation. Especially when the Champions movie came out, you're like, no. When I drop, I talk my shit.
exactly, because I don't see the point of talking about something that I haven't done yet. I haven't done, like, people can see, people can be like, judge my work. Because as you know, or I don't know if you know, I don't like being in the public. I don't like putting myself.
Yeah, no one knows who you are. That's the problem.
Yeah, people know, they know. But I'm in these industries where you have to network, you have to go out, you have to meet people, you have to show your face. I sit at home and I'm just on my laptop, whether it's writing or designing, emailing and all that, and I hate going to these events. So I have to make the work. I have to make the pieces. If it's the brand, I have to make each piece tell the story without me having to talk about it, because I don't want to talk about it.
That's the
And
drive.
it's not like, oh, I'm trying
That's
to be
the
like,
drive. In order for me, I don't speak
in
to
order to
y'all.
not leave the house.
Exactly. And have a conversation
Exactly.
with
I don't want to have a conversation with anybody.
I'll make something
So
so,
I'll make
good that I
something-
don't have to leave.
you. Exactly. So I don't have to have a
Self-explanatory.
conversation.
Good is subjective, but self-explanatory.
Get you down to earth.
It's true though. It's true though.
That's a
Because
fact.
it's because I hate on a lot of things that people can say subjectively. It's my opinion. I say objectively they're bad, but that's a different conversation that we're having.
That's true.
So this is the first time I think I'm actually coming out like on a. And I remember I told you, like, if I'm ever gonna do a podcast, I'm gonna do it here.
So we can have a very, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the last episode of Past the Capsa. You'll know
Welcome
why
to the
later
final
on.
episode of Past the
Final
Kabsa.
episode of Past the Capsa.
The amount of people that are gonna get annoyed and angry.
and we're gonna get canceled. So it was a good run.
It was fun. It was fun.
72 episodes.
You know, the best thing is Shamsi isn't here for the final one.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Deservedly.
He's not getting punched. That's a good thing.
Because he was supposed to die before the final episode. So consider this death.
Yeah.
So
There's
but
poetic justice. In
there
this.
is something to be said about this podcast. Why I want to come to this podcast, because you guys have a conversation.
Yeah.
If I look at other podcasts in the region, and not to be specific, they're more like glorified interviews.
That's true.
What have you accomplished last year? What did you feel when you did this?
And
I'm
someone
like,
is always selling.
it's always that they're selling themselves, not even a product. I'd get it if it's a product. They're selling themselves as
The product.
the product, exactly.
Yeah, it's essentially people telling me, okay, how awesome are you? I'm this awesome.
That's what I see.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
45
there's no
minutes.
pushback. There's no like, all right, let's actually get into the issues that you're having. But here, you know, whenever someone talks themselves up, you shoot them right down. Which is
Yeah, we
amazing.
have to.
Which is exactly what is needed. That conversation is needed, and that's why I'm like, I want to. And that's why we get along. Because
Exactly.
you shoot people down publicly, and I do it privately. In conversations.
Because we had a lot of conversations. Because we're not gonna, as you said, we're not gonna talk about the movies and the cars and everything. All this is gonna be different episodes of cancellations. Okay, but the fashion one,
Unlisted.
exactly. The fashion one is a conversation that I really want to have with you. There's a lot of people that reached out that want to come on the podcast and speak about fashion, but this was my fear. My fear was you come here to sell me your product. I'm not here for the product. If the product is good, everybody's gonna love it. Period.
True.
My problem was I did not find one honest person to really describe the Saudi fashion industry because everyone is a salesman.
What
And
do
I
you mean,
understand.
What do you mean, Adil? You mean this shirt that's a white T-shirt that says Tafshan? And you're selling it for 800 riyals?
Or just
What
the
do you mean
logo.
that's not
A logo that feels like what's it? The
Sedu.
polyester,
Sorry, that's a default.
وش الفلين?
styrofoam.
Styrofoam.
Yes,
you know
sir.
those oversized t-shirts with styrofoam that basically have one logo and
And they're bricks.
yeah. It feels like you're wearing a box.
Exactly.
Like a cardboard box, and you walk around and it's like makes your silhouette like 3 times the size. You walk around like you're
Big muscle man.
you
Well,
lift
that's-
up.
yes,
Listen, you lift up your hand, like it comes up to here.
Okay. Now,
That's
there's like 3 fucking lanes to talk about this. Okay.
yeah,
I don't know which one to go into, but here's the thing.
left lane.
All right.
Always.
Okay. Always. It says a lot about you.
No, that's some Fast and Furious shit. Sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
So, left lane. When it comes to the Saudi industry, right? The fashion industry specifically, I'm a person that's in love with streetwear, you know? And as someone who grew up abroad, I understand the value of streetwear, how it speaks about what's happening to people locally, you know? That's why it's called streetwear. It's about what's happening over there. And I think in the last couple of years, there's been like 90 new brands. And these brands, you can just basically, I think 85% to 99% are the same.
It's all loungewear.
Well, that's exactly it. And it's all the same sweatpants made by the same manufacturer, just a different logo on it at a different price.
And I know that's true because that manufacturer sent us an email.
It's like, y'all want some?
It's like they sent us an email. We can do manufacturing. We're doing in Saudi Arabia, we're doing manufacturing to these brands, and I'm like, oh, I know each and every one of them, and that's why they're all the same because it's the same manufacturer. They're using the same blanks. They're using all that, just changing the logo.
What's the problem? Is it creativity?
It's not that. It's the intention of going into it. You know, I'll tell you something. Galag was never meant to be a clothing brand. They're never meant to be. It came by design because of the car stuff that we do. We used to hand out T-shirts. I mean, I was about to make a mistake and call him by his real name.
Yes,
but
yes,
Rex has seen at some points how we do things on the rally and how we give out the T-shirts and all that. So people started asking us where they can buy them. So we started creating merch by demand, and it was just basically graphics on blanks. We used to use Gildan and all that. So it was never something serious. And then as we did it, we did more tours, we did more trips. The quality started improving with every step. And then it came to a point like, okay, let's actually think of it as its own coherent brand that operates separately from the cars. Once we did that, things started to shift towards people started knowing the clothing more than the cars.
Oh, really?
So especially when we did Galag Garage, it's... they're like, oh, why garage? I'm like, oh, because this is our history. And plus, we have a lot of people who follow us who are into cars that the more cultural Saudi, like the Bisht coat and the Wizard pants.
The Bisht coat is still fire to this day.
Isn't for them, you know? Well, there's a few new ones, the different designs are coming out.
Can't wait.
Take my money.
Can't wait.
So to them, it didn't connect with them. And plus, we didn't want to lose them as an audience because they've been with us from the beginning. So like, all right, let's create automotive related.
So a lot of people didn't even know that Galag started with cars
No.
whatsoever.
So one of the things we used to do, we had a screen at the pop-up. So we used to replay the Galag videos so people can see it and see the trips. And like, they don't even have to watch the whole video. They just look at it and like, oh, okay.
They can correlate.
Connection.
Yeah.
And that's how the mentality right now is thinking, okay, how can we connect everything? How can we make it more accessible? Because I don't want to sell a hoodie for like 900 riyals because I think that's dumb. You know, I'm trying as hard as I can now to realistically make my stuff more accessible for everybody.
Without sacrificing
quality. Exactly. So that comes with logistics and working with factories and finding the factory that would work with us and sort of restructuring the brand in that way, which is what we've been working on for the past few months.
So it sounds like that you had a strategy and a plan and a thought process for the company.
So actually, no. So let me sort of back. I did not have a plan.
Okay.
I did not have a strategy.
But you saw the opportunity.
There was the opportunity, but also I had a thought process. See, there's what's missing from it. There's no thought process in a lot of the brands that come out.
True.
They're like make whatever, put a catchy brand name that means nothing, essentially, if you analyze it. And just put a logo and put it on a T-shirt and sell it and give it to a couple of influencers and then you're good.
Well, that was the play, and it's still the play to this day.
It is still the play, and it's fine. I don't mind it because at the end of the day, it's a hustle, it's a business. Make money. Risk. I don't mind.
The intention is a money grab, though.
But yeah, listen. Okay, I agree with you when you say if this is what you want to do, you go ahead and do it. But as a consumer, what they're doing with their low quality is causing an issue for the market.
So here's where we have to solve it, or whoever's, we have to give the consumer the other option. We have to present them with a better option. We have to present them with an option that is affordable, accessible, and it's a better quality. But that comes with being able to find the right manufacturing, which is something that we do not have now. And the issue is people have the perception, Saudi brands are expensive. Why are you selling a T-shirt for 200 riyals, for example? I'm like, I'm only selling it because it's costing me higher. Like, oh, but other brands, bigger brands are selling it for lower. Yes, because they have bigger orders.
Exactly.
They can buy for lower. I'm buying limited orders, so they're charging me more. So that's why it's more expensive. I'm not doing it. I don't want price exclusivity. I would sell jackets for 20 riyals if I can. It's not about that. I want more people wearing my stuff rather than having this image of Galag is quality for a certain type of person. I want if I can have everybody wear it, I'm good with that.
So
but I need to make it make sense in terms of business.
You're trying to set a new standard, but the infrastructure is not there?
The infrastructure is not there. So I'm trying to look and...
manufacturing, because it's not only manufacturing. You talk about manufacturing, import, shipping.
All that.
Yeah, that comes together that adds more expenses on what you're trying to do.
It's called economies of scale, everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, exactly. So that's that's the mindset. One of the, some of the times we actually sold below industry standard markup, where we barely made a markup on it just to keep the prices affordable, because we didn't want to have something that is that's crazy expensive.
You don't want to disconnect from your audience.
I want them to buy it. If I can sacrifice a little bit of a margin, or if I can sacrifice a margin while not losing money in order to keep my customer, or to give them something that they think that is actually has more value than what they paid, I'm fine with it. As long as I'm not losing money. Then there's something.
You gotta balance the books, of course.
Exactly.
There's an issue to be sustainable.
So as much as we can, we alter the pricing to keep things consistent. Where it's like, oh, this T-shirt is going to be that. I'm like, no, if it costs us less, we'll sell it for less. So it's not. I don't care about having consistency in price. If something costs me less, I'll sell it for less. If something costs more, I'll sell it for more. Because of if it's the embroidery, if it's the material, if it's all that, that's the consistent thing with us. It's whatever based on our cost that we're going to sell.
See, here's the thing. Like, even if you at 1 minute raise the price and at 1 minute lower the price, the quality that you do deserves a higher price.
Whether it deserves it or not, what did it cost me? Because I'm not comparing myself like, oh, this brand sells it for this, and I'm at the same level as that brand. I should have mine the same. If I can sell this luxury brand's quality for a lower price,
Which you already do. Which you already do. Let's be honest. You already do.
I'll do it. I'll do it because it's the best advertisement for me is word of mouth. Is people liking the stuff. My stuff lasting. Galag lasting more than a season. They can wear it for like a couple of months and then put it in the closet and not wear it for 3 years and then bring it out or sell it at a thrift market. Someone else buys it a few years later.
You want it to last.
I want it to last. That's the main goal. And when people talk sustainability, that's the biggest sustainability. Make something that lasts. Don't make something cheap that you can throw and then say, oh, we're using recycled fabrics.
H&M, Zara.
I mean, it's that
Forever 21.
giving movement.
Giving movement. Yes, giving movement.
So
We're trying to give to the movement.
I mean, you got to give to the movement.
Of course,
it's the plane ride to London uniform.
That's a deep cut.
Yes, we talked about it the other day. It's true. When I was going to London, that whole flight was the giving moment.
Was sponsored.
Yes, it was sponsored by the giving moment.
This moment sponsored by the Giving Moment.
The whole first class was embroidery. But here's the thing. Even, I'm not talking to you about how you are pricing, okay?
But that goes into it, though.
It does go into it from you from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
But what kind of annoys me is that, let's talk about the shoe, for example. All right? So when you dropped that shoe, the second I had it in hand, from the second I touched it, I knew it was quality. Do not take that clip. Sauce of mango, leave me alone. Leave me alone, sauce of mango. Okay? When I grabbed that shoe in my hand,
You got to be specific.
Actually, from the box itself, you knew it was quality.
And because I use myself as a litmus test, because I don't leave the house, because I don't talk to people, I have to make stuff that I would wear or I would buy. And I have to ask myself, would I buy this for this price? Or would I think twice before buying it? If I think twice before buying it for the pricing as well, even though like it all falls into it, then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to rework something. But if it's a no-brainer for me, then I'll do it. Then I'll go for it. So I have to keep asking myself all the time, if it's something that's good enough for me to buy, then I'll sell it. We had a few things that we made, and I have them all in storage, that were not good enough when they arrived. And I was like, no, we're not going to sell it. They're going to rot in a warehouse. It's not something I want to offer the customer.
This is what I respect about you. That's why every time you have a drop like the F1 drop, like all these drops that you do, it was Galag Garage was amazing on its own for a totally different reason. But even when you do your drops, the thing that I love about it is because I know what I'm buying is what the brand owner, right, is putting himself into it. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm buying something that's made for masses.
Yeah. So part of that, I used to make fun of people who wear their own stuff. So
Welcome to the club.
yeah. So it's like I used to make fun of them. I'm like, oh, we get it. You have a brand, but it came to a point where I'm designing something, or we as Galag are designing something that is very specific to what we want. You know, a lot of it's cut and sew. We don't use many blanks. So a lot of it's to our specifications. So I'm creating the exact clothing that I want to wear. So I had to be okay with wearing what I exactly want to wear.
In order for me to
Exactly.
understand if I'm comfortable in this.
No,
is it?
in order to stop making fun of myself.
You had
In order
to.
to stop,
You're actually making clothes for yourself.
No, this
Yeah.
wasn't.
This wasn't about- no.
This is about me. I had to train myself.
I had to train myself not to think like I look like an idiot for wearing my own brand. You know, because I used to make fun of those people.
But you know what's the beautiful thing about you? No one knows who you are. So
That's
even
fantastic.
if you-
I know who I am.
you know,
That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly. But no one knows. So when you come
Tell
up wearing
yourself
Galag,
it's for you. It's tafsil. That's it. That's what you did. But on a larger scale. That's it.
But yeah, so that was, you know, I'm my own litmus test. If it's not good enough for me, it's not good enough for me. It's just how. That's
when you do your drops, what's the motivation after it?
to move on to the next thing. you mean?
Yeah.
So normally when we have a drop about to happen, we're already thinking of the next one. That's of course standard for a brand, but it did come to a point where I was sort of hitting a wall. I'm like, especially after the last Cosmopolis drop,
Yeah.
I was like, what more am I gonna do? I'm like, this is kind of getting boring. Am I just gonna look for different regions in Saudi and sort of I'm like, it's fine, it's good, but like, what am I doing different? Because as you know, every collection has nothing to do with the previous.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that was good for a while, but once it got to a point where like I have to keep changing every time and I never want to repeat, it became a problem. But then, you know, we got this opportunity to do the pop-up in Jeddah.
yeah.
And with that, we're like, okay, the theme, what's the theme? We're like garage. And that kind of opened another lane. We're like, oh, this can be a fun kind of small drop that we can do.
Small drop.
Well,
Yo, Rex, you heard that? He said small drop. Small
I'm
drop.
still chasing that overall.
You
but
had
yeah.
a lane, bro.
No,
okay?
but
you had a packed place.
But I'm saying the thought process before we got into it.
okay, all right.
I'm
okay.
saying small because
But that was back in the day.
no small.
Size is relative.
To you, my friend.
Keep telling
It
yourself.
was the number of pieces. I mean, we're making. That's what I
Okay.
mean. Small drop.
All right.
I don't mean like the whole thing. It turned out to be a whole situation.
Exactly.
So we did that, and then they're giving us a space. Like, how can we make it more interesting? We're going to be next to all these brands. How can we make ours different? And you know what happened? How we thought? We're like, oh, we actually have a concept that is interesting, that is a theme, that is consistent. While other shops just had racks and put their sign outside and like they're expecting people to come in.
Proud Angels.
No, but I don't know if he.
Shout out to Proud. I love you. I'm sorry.
But I
love
don't
you.
know if actually he was in Jeddah. He wasn't.
No, it
one of
wasn't
the-
Jeddah. It was the one in the Boulevard.
Oh, but I feel like that's what Riyadh likes. They like simple, just put a sign and you know we'll see.
It was as empty as his heart. That's how empty it was.
Oh, wow.
So,
full
that-
of
that
vibes
was-
and
that
energy.
was-
Shout out to Proud yesterday.
Shout-
Me and him, we had a good
Proud.
talk. Yeah, shout out to Proud.
so that was the sort of idea, the conception. Then the more we did it, the more details. We're like, oh, this will be fun if we do this. We'll do this. We'll do the neons, and we actually go to the junkyard and get these old toolboxes. So we were enjoying the process of creating it, and it wasn't like, oh, this is what's going to sell. We're like, what would be fun to walk into in a place like the City Walk, where it's essentially a theme park with food.
True.
You know, theme park with good food.
That's very specific.
No, because
Negotiable.
hey, listen.
Arguable.
No, there were okay with decent food.
Yes,
All right.
there you go. Thank
I mean, it wasn't مربع بس يعني.
Exactly.
It's for us Jeddah. We were happy with that. Please leave us alone.
Yes. Completely forgot. Yeah. They have different standards when it comes to food.
Yo, Boulevard ruined us. Right?
Even before Boulevard. Even before.
Boulevard, Oasis, Middle Beast, like everything ruined
And
us.
it's not. We had 6 weeks. You guys had 6 months.
Yeah, we're just vibing.
Vibes and energy all over the place. So So we had to make ourselves stand out there, and it just became a fun project. And even the guys that we found to work the shop, they were very dynamic with. They knew the brand, and it was just about enjoying the experience. To me, Get a Garage was never a thought like, oh, I'm going to make money off of this. It was a marketing idea, to be honest. I thought of it, if it was a write-off, it's a write-off. I never but it became something bigger. People enjoyed it.
Yes.
People enjoyed the experience. Even the guys that, at the City Walk who were running
forced
the
me to
retail.
fly down to it. Ladies and gentlemen, he would not sell me one piece. He's like, you need to come down and buy from here. And I actually flew down for a day.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing experience. The people were amazing. The whole place, even like getting into the place, like, there was something special over here.
Alhamdulillah.
And especially the bright ass red, like
the neons.
Yeah, like
You know
knew.
what's funny? After we put our neons, a couple of the shops asked our guy where they can get neon lights. So they started. So
I'm
other
not
places started
They
putting
did a
neons.
Control C, Control V.
Not really, but yeah, more or less. So, so the idea of Get a Garage, how it grew, it kind of, I'd love to say that I had the foresight, or like I was thinking, this is what's going to happen. I just kind of do things and hope they work out.
But this is what I love about it. That's literally it. I told you, like, whatever I'm buying from there, I know that there was a thought process behind it. It wasn't a stick a label on something and let's go.
Yeah.
Like, I remember the first time when he showed me Get a Garage, before you even like released it, and you had the overalls and Turks went crazy.
Oh, I'll send you the thing for it.
Please. Thank you.
Man, stop sending my
Yo.
friends anything, all right?
Yeah.
No, they has to buy it. I'm not.
Yeah,
Thank you. There we go. There we go. That's the vibe. That's the vibe.
I just want to get to it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
I just want to feel it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my god! But that's the thing. Like, I know every purchase that I make, there was something behind it in the thought process. It wasn't just something slapped on just to buy. And this is the problem. Like, when I love to support local brands. Last year, I spent the whole year just buying local, and after a year of buying local, I'm like, okay, all of you 6 are buying from the same place.
Yeah.
It's all the same in quality.
Yeah.
All of you are the same. Like, it didn't make sense. Okay, I have your logo on my shirt. Cool. And what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're using me as marketing for yourself. I'm trying to look good in what I'm wearing. I'm trying to have an identity in what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
But you look good as an ad. Adil.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
But
You want to smack something on me?
that's the issue.
Pause.
That's the issue.
There's free real estate on that. Free advertising.
I would
space.
not be talking about real estate in head, my friend. You're the last person to
I
speak
say that
about real
because we
estate
know
in
we
head.
know we know the same
The
feeling.
size of my head is your forehead. I don't be talking bullshit. Just sit there.
I charge more. Yani. That makes sense. Yeah. It's obvious. Yeah.
Prime real estate.
Yeah, prime real
Prime real
estate.
estate. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so there has to be a thought process. And if I'm as cynical as you, where I look at certain brands and I know, oh, this doesn't have a thought process. These are people that woke up, or a person that woke up. I want to start a brand. How do I start a brand? 101 on YouTube, and off you go.
Everybody's watching the same YouTube.
The same YouTube video. And I know the exact video they're watching.
And that's the problem.
Because I watched it and I was like, no, that's not it.
Like, I don't know how many brands are there. Where, I mean, a brand that has someone behind it that really loves and cares about what's happening.
So I've kind of been keeping an eye out on these things. And as same as you, I like to support local. I found myself more and more trying to find local brands to buy from. And I like, especially when I travel, especially when I travel, I was like, how many times did I travel this year? Oh, once.
Exactly.
So I'd like to wear it and I'm like, yeah, this is a Saudi brand. It doesn't have to be Galag. I just want to wear Saudi brands.
Any good quality Saudi.
Good quality Saudi brands that are doing something different. And I've managed to filter out good ones, in my opinion. And I can list them out if you want. Turbo Studio, I love what they do.
Yeah, we talked about that before.
Yeah. And Hindam, his clothes aren't, listen.
Muhammad Khoj is amazing.
Muhammad puts so much thought. He thinks about it so much, sometimes to a fault, where he gets to a point where he's like, he wants it to be so perfect that he doesn't release it.
I told him, I said to his face, and I say it here in front of people, I don't give a fuck. He's like, he's going to be our Louis Vuitton.
That's the thing.
That's exactly
he
what
needs
he's
to
gonna
just be
be.
confident and just go with it.
He will.
So-
That's the thing. He loves it so much that he wants to give you the best out of it.
So with Hindam specifically, I tell him, your stuff isn't my style, but there's certain pieces where I will put an effort to shift my style to wear it.
Facts.
You
I
know,
own a
because
couple of his jackets.
because I respect what he does, and I know the amount, and I know the quality, I know how much he loves what he does, and sometimes he shows me pieces a year or two before it comes out, and I'm like, I want that, you know. And for a year, I keep pestering him to get it,
And he doesn't drop it.
he doesn't drop it.
Since you want it, never.
Yeah, but he's someone that I respect a lot.
What's wrong with you? What?
Was that your cough?
Yeah, it was my cough.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I just closed it real quick.
Okay. So he's someone I respect. Turba يشطحون كده. They do like weird stuff that I love. It's almost like they think of something, they'll do it, and that's it. And they do things interesting, like the hoodies and the way they fit their clothes. And I'm like, I like it because they're sort of like me in a sense where the work speaks for itself. They don't want to go out and talk. So like, let's create a whole environment that is just that. You know, and it's a lot of brands. For example, we both love and hate Proud.
Yes. But it's not about the brand. It's about the person.
It's about. But the thing is, Proud. I love him. You know,
I love Proud, man. It's amazing.
But I respect his hustle the most when it comes to it, because I remember the first time I met him. It was at an event in Mirkaz in Saudi, and I remember Rex was there, and Proud had a corner at that Mirkaz with 2 racks. He had just moved back, and I was talking. He's like, "Yo, I'm from LA," blah, blah, and all that. And he's talking this, that, and the other. Let's talk. And he's very much Proud, as we know.
Yeah, he's like he's proud. He's always on go.
And I think either that day or the day after, I was like, "Yeah, let's go meet up." And he started talking, just talking about, you know, I just came back. I want to do this, and just kind of vibing. And to see him go from that to what he's doing now, to taking over in Mirkaz with his own pop up with Rex, and having the place in the boulevard, seeing his stuff being worn everywhere, seeing his stuff ripped off for Khaldiyah in Saudi.
Definitely.
That's
how you know you made it.
You know you made it when there's knockoffs of your stuff. I'm waiting to find a Galag one. I'm like, listen, when that happens, I know I've made it. But the way he kind of got to where he is, you have to respect that.
Definitely.
You always respect the hustle.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And he
especially when it
stayed
comes
with
to
his, and he's like, all right, I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. And he kept going with it, you know, and he's trying to experiment here and there. But
I always
being
say, once
consistent.
you understand the man, you understand everything.
Exactly.
And when it comes
It's
to
very
Proud,
much him.
some people might not like how his approach on things, but once you understand that he's a man that's not gonna anything to stop him to achieve his dream, you understand the person you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that doesn't want to hear no. If everything has to break down for him to make it right, then everything will break down in order for it to be right.
Yeah, and that's something I respect a lot with him, and he's sort of the opposite of me in how we work. You know, he's like, I'll just keep doing it. I'll just keep doing it. I'm like, I'll just take a step back, and I can't really
Inhale it.
inhale and kind of chill and, you know, be stuck in my bubble. But there aren't many. You know, Mazrood I respect. They've expanded a lot. I used to like what they had before. I haven't seen their new stuff. Apparently they expanded, but just there's a lot of brands that sometimes they start right, and then they'll go the t-shirt and hoodie route.
You know what it sounds like? It sounds like, well, I think Swizz was telling me this. It's like you work your whole life to make your first album, right? And you have all that time to make your first album. That's not the problem. The problem is getting the second album.
Following it.
Yes.
I think the follow-up is the biggest issue, because also, we made this, but there's so much quality. There's the details, there's the packaging, there's all that. But not many people bought it. What did they buy? A t-shirt with a bee on it. It's like, okay, let me do that.
With the manga on it.
Or scissors.
Or scissors.
But
Scissors is another low fucking quality. We'll talk about that later on.
But you know what? They see that it sells. Like, hey, that's what I need to do. You know, or put a cute teddy bear or something on it. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what I need to do. And you can't fault them for thinking that. But also, if the industry is based on that, it's going to be a crappy industry.
That's not design thinking. That's
not design thinking.
Yeah, that's
that's
market study, basically. That's what they're doing.
It is. It's market study. But then that's what people are seeing. You know, you have that, and then you have the crazy, expensive, super luxury one-off pieces, but then you have nothing in the middle, catering to that, catering to the middle ground between them.
But the problem with all these brands are using all of this as just generating money. What they're doing is that they're not encouraging the local market to keep buying local.
No.
They're actually pushing the local market away. Why am I paying $300 for your hoodie that's very low quality when I can pay $100 at H&M and it's a better quality than yours?
That's the issue. That's the issue. I don't think there's and maybe I'm speaking online, but I don't think there's an understanding of quality.
No, there isn't.
Because sometimes, the styrofoam hoodies
Yes.
that people wear, people think that's good quality. I've seen people like, oh, الخامة حلوة, I'm like, yo,
Yeah, because you
Like,
don't know what
that's
this cardboard.
styrofoam,
It's not about the styrofoam.
and they
it's
wash
about
it once, and
what
like
bed do you sleep on?
The sleeve comes up to here now. That type beat. So
Oh my God, you're an ass.
me.
No, واحد من الشباب الله يستر عليه. He just passed by.
لا يطول في عمره.
There you go.
So just the understanding of quality and what makes good quality and how pricing works with manufacturing. I think there's no understanding of that. So people don't understand what actual retail price is. That's, to be honest, I'll give you like a trade secret. Why do we have our prices in pounds?
Why?
Because something that's 45 pounds looks better than a t-shirt that's 200 riyals.
Well, actually, that's true.
But actually, if you
Yeah, that makes sense.
But here's the thing, because I want them to understand that I'm not ripping you off. T-shirts that are the same quality, if you go abroad, that's the pricing. That's
true.
the standard pricing.
Yes, that's the
So
truth.
it's not a trick. I'm trying to trick you. I'm trying to show you. I'm comparing to the people abroad, and that also plays into it. It's like the comparison with local brands.
See,
It's consumer psychology 101.
Yeah,
it's not only about here's the issue. From
Marketing
everything that
man
he
speaking,
said,
so-
from everything that he said, the one thing that I don't think we have here is education. You're not educating the people who want to get into the fashion industry, and you're not educating the consumer. No one is talking to each other.
So speaking of not talking to each other, shall we?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. I'm down. You want to talk about it? Let's go.
So the 100 brands.
The 100 brands, yes. I'm not, to this day, for the life of me, I don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't think they do either.
That's exactly how I feel.
So I'll be completely honest with. So Galag was a part of the 100 brands, and I stopped responding because they were just lost. It's
Oh, what did they want from you though?
so initially I wasn't interested in it. I'm like, listen, I'm not. I don't want to get into that. I'm working on my own stuff. I got a phone call from someone in the Fashion Commission. Got a phone call from someone MOC. Got an email from شو اسمه الفرنسي ده حق Vogue Arabia.
I forgot his name. What's his name?
Whatever. He's the French dude. That's
Frenchman.
Frenchman.
Yes,
That's
his
the
name
head
is
of
Frenchie.
Vogue Arabia, and a couple of others. And I'm like, we want Galag to join. And I got Instagram DMs and all that from people like, oh, we're part of Fashion Commission. We want Galag as 100 brands. So I started calling, people. I called people that I know. Sort of, should I
Be involved?
Should I be involved? Like, what is this? Like, what do you have to lose? Just see what happens. You know what I lost?
Patience?
Patience, time, and money.
Wow.
So so we get into it, and I'm with all these brands. There's some brands we're in for 20 years, by the way,
Wow.
that are established. They're in this thing. They're in this program. And then, they interviewed us. They came and they saw each brand. Then they put us in categories. There's bridal, there's jalabiyat, there's made to order. And they put us, this is the best, our category. So I was put in a category with Proud Angeles,
Okay.
Turba Studio,
All right.
what's just with the hat, with the tie, in Raje, or
Yes, in Raja, yes.
in Raje, which are now Sule.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep going.
And there's a brand called Lurline, and women's wear brand called Lurline that is based two sisters, Sarah and Siham, that are they do like they use avant-garde sort of material to make ready-to-wear stuff. So it's like all of them completely different brands, completely different lanes. They put us in one category. You know what the category is called? Concept.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
You know,
Vibes.
It's vibes. It's like putting us in a category like things.
Yeah.
You know.
Concept.
Do you know? I tell you some of my problems with the top 100. I don't understand what it's for.
It's not. It's to put Instagram posts and pretend it's for certain people to make. What's the right? To justify their paychecks.
Wow.
So
Look, to be very honest, as a guy from the outside looking in, as someone that really cares about what's happening in the market, and us as a team, usually we're discussing also what's always happening in the country. When it first got announced, we're like, yo, this is going to be wild.
Yeah.
We're going to know who is the top 100 brands in Saudi. That's the first education that I'm going to get. That I know what's one. I can't name 100 brands in Saudi. Okay. So this was number one. Two, they were talking about, oh, we're going to take this globally in Madrash. We're going to do courses. We're going to do it and we're going to teach. So when I heard all of that, I was like, yo, this industry is about to fucking blow up to the point that we started discussing, yo, fashion lines. What should we be doing? And then just torpedoed.
So here's how it kind of went. They put us in these categories, right? And we're meant to have one meeting a month with a mentor, like a Zoom meeting.
Okay.
And there was weekly classes, like lectures. So to teach a brand, and I'm looking at these lectures and I'm being put in the same category as brands starting just now. I've had 3 years in it. I'm not saying well established, but I know how to put together a tech pack, a lookbook. These are stuff that I've done. Why am I sitting through 3 hour Zoom lectures about how to take fashion photographs, how to design, how to make consistent designs? I'm like, that's not for me. Other brands, if it's good, let me preface this.
Exactly.
This is my experience only.
Yes.
Some people have positives, but this is the issue with not talking to the local brands before you make the program, before you do the program. This is the issue of bringing consultants who don't live in Saudi, who don't understand Saudi, who's from Paris Fashion Week or from Vogue or whatever, and they're applying these.
They're trying to apply their industry over here where it doesn't exist.
It doesn't work. We don't have an industry here. The industry there is even broken. Look at why all the luxury brands are going street.
Yes.
Because luxury isn't selling these.
Everybody wants something different.
Exactly. So it started happening. I started to be like, oh, is it for me? Should I stick it out? I'm like, okay, there's a certain part of the program that I want to get into, which is wholesale B2B. By the time they got to the first exhibition, the one they did in December, I think.
Yeah.
100 brands. And they were talking about make a one-off piece. I'm like, first of all, that's not my brand. I don't do one-off pieces. I do practical stuff people can wear. I'm not going to do some avant-garde Kanye West Balenciaga stuff.
That's an art show. Yeah,
I'm not doing Donda,
Yes.
just for a show in Riyadh. I love Riyadh, but that's not going to sell me anything. If people see this jacket that has a mask and has madri wushu and a helmet tied to
What's
it,
the value of it?
there's no value in
Exactly.
it. There's no value in it. There's no value in an exhibition. It's not.
And also, there's no value to the brand.
To me, I'm talking specifically to me. There's value in bridal. There's value in the one-off pieces. That
Custom
people that
wear.
Custom, that's fine.
Yes.
But to me, as a ready-to-wear brand that's looking for practical pieces, I was just going to give them the best coat.
Like here.
Yeah, I'm like, here, take this. I'm not going to make some.
I've been selling it for 3 years now,
Right,
but here, take it.
I'm not going to go out of my way for you guys.
It doesn't make sense whatsoever for you. Yeah, it makes sense for anyone who's targeting
so
the Met Gala kind of crowd.
The thing that sort of worked out and lined up was the fact that I was making the bish coat and it was a Saudi cultural thing at the time where they wanted this. I'm like, okay, I have this, so I'll send it to them. And I sent it and it was too late, so it didn't get shown.
Oh, wow.
But I was fine with that. I put it on sale afterwards. So that happened. And then they had...
Always has a solution.
You always have to. So then the next thing was a pop-up in Ramadan that they're working towards. I wasn't going to do the pop-up, to be honest. I was like, you know what? I'm dropping my own. I was starting to think about getting a garage. So what happened with that was, I think 2 weeks or 3 weeks before the pop-up, they mentioned that there will not be a Ramadan pop-up, a physical pop-up.
Oh, is it going to be a virtual pop-up?
It's going to be a virtual pop-up.
Oh, wow.
With Farfetch.
Oh, wow. Even
So
lost.
here is the lack of respect that they had for the brands. where they thought they're going to be wide-eyed and just accept a name like Farfetch just because it's Farfetch. But you're having made to order brands. You're having bridals. You're having jalebi. Who the hell goes to Farfetch to search for new brands? You go to Farfetch to find the brands that you want.
Exactly.
So, and what annoyed me the most, they sent an intern to tell the brands that.
Do you know what that tells me? As a little business owner in the corner of the world that has to do with fashion, it tells me that these consultants or whoever is working on this program was thinking, what's a quick win that looks good?
There we go.
That's it.
There we go.
Not results, not what is needed for the industry.
No.
What looks good that we can throw and say, hey, we also did this. We also did that, as if it's a win.
For sure.
I'm sure you can get on Farfetch on your own without even needing anybody.
It's not hard to get on Farfetch.
Exactly.
Just contact them, give them your stuff, and 50-50 chance. That's it. That's all. And Farfetch is great, but that's not the end all be all.
True.
So after that, but what I liked actually from that phone call is that the brand owners started communicating with each other like, oh, you're not going to do that? They actually told the interns like, listen, you're not a decision maker. Stay out of this.
Wow.
They started talking. Oh, I have a spot. Someone could give me a spot that we can use. Oh, I can do this. I can source that. So they started working together, sort of discussing.
Interesting.
Then this is when I saw, I'm like, if you guys only talked to
From the beginning,
the brand owners and see what they're capable of, what they have access to,
what ideas do they have?
Utilize what you have. But they didn't. They did this program that they thought is going to be bells and whistles and PR and Instagram and put it on Vogue and whatever, and they're going to have the last showcase probably on. It's not what's needed.
What it sounds to me is that it was a disrespectful move to come in here and assume that the people that are already in the market do not know what they're doing.
Or will accept something that has a shiny name or something that's bright and sparkly
And say, oh my God, I'm over here.
Yeah.
It's like when you tell someone, oh, you'll be at Paris Fashion Week. There's a billion brands at Paris Fashion Week that no one hears about.
Yo, listen, I don't get this obsession. I do not get this obsession
With fashion weeks?
No, not even fashion weeks. With let's say specifically Paris Fashion Week.
All right.
Okay. I don't get the obsession of Saudi brands who don't sell here, like who barely have a presence in Saudi, who their goal is to have a showcase in Paris Fashion Week.
Because it looks good on Instagram.
It's San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah.
No, but San Diego Comic-Con, you're going and you have a product and you have something that you're bringing your things to sell there. Paris Fashion Week, to me, is just pretentious, like not even to the new generation. How relevant is it?
Not
To the
at
generation that goes thrifting, that finds their inspirations from TikTok, from Instagram curators.
Yeah.
How relevant is that? I think the only reason Paris Fashion Week is just like a prestige thing that people want to do.
You got
but is
Paris
it
and fashion, and then the title. Of course, it's a prestige, pretentious thing. Come on.
let's be real. Is Paris great?
Yeah, no, it's not, but it's pretentious.
But at the same time, like, most of the brands in Paris, people in Paris can't afford it.
Exactly. If you're Saudi and you're trying to cater to people who inherently look down on you, who think you're less than, who don't really look at you unless there's money to be made behind you. I mean, to be fair, the whole industry is about money to be made, but at least, they play niceties with each other. But when you're from the Middle East and in France,
look at
you'll
this.
never be
at this
considered on the same level as the French
Yes.
or the legacy brands.
Look at this brand. It is
And
so
it-
pretty. It is from the desert. Oh, what is this pattern?
Exotic.
It is the Sedu. Oh, it is one.
The Sadu?
And this is why the Sedu keeps going, oh, it's Sedu. Everything is Sedu. It's fine.
Here's the thing. I don't really care for what's happening.
I don't care.
I know you don't either. But you said something very interesting, and this is what always gets me angry, is that you as a Saudi brand, you're not establishing yourself in Saudi. You're spending most of your time looking outside, trying to be like, what's over there in order for you to make it? Because you spent your whole day looking at YouTube videos of what everybody's doing over there, and that became your target audience. You've never spent the minute to look at who your target audience is. And when you did, some of them, what do? They give you like, these little quotes on a t-shirt or
my
whatever,
God.
try to be funny. And then you miss out on like, yo, what are you really trying to do here? What's the value? Like, I'm very proud of your brand and proud Angelus. And there's so many others we can talk about. And the reason we're proud of it is because it feels home, right? That's one. It feels like it's one of us. It's one of our people doing it. I said this story to you. I don't know if I told this to Turks or not. Even listen, number one.
Never tell me anything.
Thank God. So I was in, when I was in London, okay? I was in a Gucci store. Hold up. Where is it?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
The wealth button's important. I was wearing the Galag jacket. And the guy came to me. I was buying another jacket, and he saw me. He's like, "Oh, what is this jacket?" Started looking at it. He's like, "Oh, this is very nice, Madrish." And then he's like, "Where'd you get it from?" I turn around and show him the logo on the back, and he's like, "Galag." He's like, "Aren't these the car guys?"
Dope.
This is like in London, and the person knew exactly what I was wearing. And I felt a sense of pride. I sent him a voice. I sent him a voice. I was like, "Yo, bro!"
Yeah.
I was so fucking happy that I'm wearing something that is local and recognized globally.
So, what was my reply with you wearing the jacket?
Okay, the first time, this was later on. Okay, Turks, imagine this. I am wearing something that is great quality.
Yes.
Okay, and you own it.
Yeah.
And I wear it because I like it. Won't you be happy for me?
Okay, if I'm Sultan, maybe not. But hold it.
He sent me a message like, "Ma كأنك مسختها, you wearing it all the time." I'm like, "It's your brand. I'm wearing your brand." He's like, "كأنك حللته."
A bit of variety is always nice, but
He's like, "You seem like you only got two." Like, yo, relax.
Rock the Lululemons next time. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Do you know what's the first time that I noticed your brand like in front of my eyes? Well, actually, one of the first times.
Don't say that's too romantic. Don't say in
Relax.
front of my eyes.
Once I saw someone wearing it, and I was like, okay, like I thought this person was doing a knockoff of Galag, the team, you know? But I was like, oh, this guy must be copying whatever it is, whatever. And I just ignored. And then the second time was when you did the Rex Galag collaboration.
Oh yeah.
Yes, shout out Rex.
shout out Rex.
Remember that big purple jacket? I saw it in front of me. I was at a event, if that's what we call them, at 3 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so I was there. There was a guy in front of me that was dancing,
Middle
right?
East?
No, it wasn't Middle East. No, Middle East I can say it publicly. And like they exist. There was a guy in front of me that was dancing, right? Then he stopped, and I saw Proud come and talk to him. At that time, I don't know who Proud was. And then I sat behind him, I'm looking at it, and I see like the amount of material used.
Oh yeah, that jacket was
Yes.
a mission.
No shit. It looked heavy as hell. I'm like, yo, that must be some quality shit. And like, you know, I broke the ice for the dude real quick, just to check out his jacket. That's what I do with guys. I break the ice to see the clothes.
Had this move.
That's always my move. It's called the adil. So I came like, I was actually like, I grabbed the jacket and I was looking at the material. I'm like, yo, fuck, this is really, really good. And like, when I saw that in front of me, I was like, okay, no, this must be the actual brand. It cannot be some knockoff. No one's gonna spend that kind of money to do a jacket in that fucking quality just to say that, bro, the embroidery was so fucking thick. You know, and I saw it, I was like, yo, fucking respect. I really, really like. It was one of the first moments that actually really, really like. I noticed, okay, there's someone here who really gives a shit about delivery, about everything.
And to be honest with that,
And I wasn't talking about Rex.
I mean Rex
is one of
put
a
us
kind.
through the ringer with that one, to be honest, because
That's Rex.
at the beginning it was like a collaboration. Because from the get go, we're not gonna put two logos together and put just the Rex face and Galag, and we're like. So the first thing I told Rex, and I remember this, I was like, I want you to produce a piece. What is Galag in your eyes? So he made this whole piece. He did this thing representing the desert tour that we did.
Oh my God, I feel so
he-
sorry for you.
So he did this whole piece, and he had all the elements in there. So with him, we're like, all right, because we don't want to take it and design it ourselves. He has to be part of the design process. So we're like, all right, let's break it down and put all the elements in different pieces.
Okay.
So each piece can stand on its own as a Rex Galag collab, but also if you wear it all together, it's almost like you're wearing the entire like Rex Galag painting. All the elements are there.
Okay, that's why there was certain patterns on the hat.
That's
and then
not
the shirt.
there.
Yeah,
Exactly. So, but they're all
okay.
part of this one piece.
See, fuck you. This is why I love your brand so fucking much, yo. It's for these kind of ideas, man.
And it's interesting. And I think, you know, he was happy with how it turned out, I think.
Is Rex ever happy? He's always in his feels.
He's always No, Young Chumi. I don't know. Young Chumi and Rex is on another level there.
Rex is
But
another
but I
level.
want to touch on something that you said. Like, if you're not here, if you're not on the ground here, and I think that's something that's important that we need to realize, because
being in Saudi.
you have to be in Saudi to be part of the conversation.
Facts.
Period.
That's 100%.
Even if you're Saudi and you're living in Dubai, and then coming in here just for photo shoots,
There's a lot of them.
and then just going
Yes.
back to Dubai to live your life, or living in LA, living in London, or all that. Because if you look at them, why are they living there from the get-go? These are the people that could never bear to live in Saudi
Exactly.
5 years
So
ago.
how are you selling me something when you can't even be here?
And I look at these people and I follow these people's journey. Like, I'm not saying this. Problem is, I know some of these people.
I've been there day one.
Yeah. And I was supportive of that. But then I know, like, okay, you're living in London, LA, and all that, and you're part of the art creative industry, whether it's music, whether it's all that, and you couldn't make it there.
But you don't know that.
But the Saudis don't know that. They don't
Exactly.
follow them before.
Exactly.
So they come here and they're celebrated as a Billboard #1 artist. and they're in all the magazines and all that. Saudi singer. I'm like, oh, now you're calling yourself a Saudi singer. Oh, that's interesting.
Now it became part of the culture.
Oh, I love being here. I love being in Saudi. And I'm like, oh, what? I thought, you couldn't live here before. So why are we, so if you do not live here, you're a visitor, period.
Facts.
You
That's 100%
are
fact.
no different than these artists that are being paid to come here to perform and leave. You are not moving the needle.
This was my issue when it comes to, like, when we talk about music. This was my issue with Skinny. I like Skinny's music, but Skinny doesn't live here.
I don't think
Skinny doesn't spend time here.
it's fine. So he can do what he does there.
Exactly,
But
but
you're
you
not part of
can't-
the local culture.
Exactly.
here.
But you trying to be like with the last album, that was the push, of his relation with Saudi. But if Skinny comes around more, he will see Saudi in a totally different way than what he thought it was. Because Skinny hasn't been home for a minute. And once he comes home, he's going to realize, oh, okay, he's going to see more than what he actually thought it was. Because even if he's there and he is hanging out with Saudis, it's a different demographic than what's really on the ground. The people that listen to Skinny are people that I don't think he ever met. Maybe he bumped into them.
Yeah.
But he never really saw them. If Skinny comes in, does one concert, he's going to close out. And that's a fact. He's
And
going
that's
to
the thing.
close out.
That's the thing. They don't want to come. They don't want to actually be here.
And that's our biggest issue, man. But here's the thing about that part specifically. When it comes to you being Saudi, but being abroad and trying to sell Saudis and act like you are number one, the fact of the matter is you're making it worse for everybody else. Because now people are saying, yo, in order for you to be something, you have to go make it over there.
No, you have to go and fail over there and come back.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
And here's
You just need
Because-
that stamp.
because that's
you just need the
Snapchat,
stamp that
you
you
need that
know
stamp,
you
that's
That
You-
Snapchat, that Instagram,
know
it
A
pays
for
ways.
effort. A for
Yeah.
effort. You
Yeah.
know that's
E for effort.
What, it is what it is. But then I sort of changed the way I look at them. These people are purely placeholders.
Definitely.
They will be pushed aside when the real local talent,
The real qualified.
the real qualified, and the real people that are here day in day out, being part of the local culture, being part of just connecting with people here, knowing what's going on here. I think that's hugely important, especially if you're in the creative industry. And if you want to go and make your name out there and be successful, روح.
Allah يوفقك.
روح.
Allah يوفقك. Go.
But-
don't forget your roots.
Well, not even that. Don't disrespect the people here and pretend like you're something you're not.
Well, that's okay. That goes back to personality. And there's a lot of people, they have a lot of issues when it comes to their own personality. Some people feel like they're not accepted here, but they're accepted somewhere else. And so they come with that mentality is that, yo, I came from over there, from a place where people love me, and I'm coming to show you guys what I have, and now I'm expecting you guys to love me. No, you should have made the effort to be known here first.
Let's say there wasn't the industry or there wasn't the platform for it. That's fine. Why are you still living there?
Because that's my life now.
Why
But
are
I'm
you
not
still
going to tell
there?
you it's my life.
Why are you still there?
I'm not going to tell you. I'm selling you my products in order for me to stay living there.
Oh, there we go.
Exactly.
There we go. Then I don't think we should put them above the people that are here. This is sort of my my thought process with it. And the thing is, who's platforming them? To be honest, platforming are entities or publications that are run by people that are not from Saudi.
Well, that's the biggest issue that we have.
So it's like this cycle.
When you said placeholders,
why do we care what they think of us? That's the question.
Look, there's two conversations to have here. One being placeholders. You can say this to a lot of the industry.
Oh yeah, a lot of industries.
Yeah, a lot of industries. We have shitload of people out there that have no reason. And us, we know people who are more qualified and they're not on that route even. Not even at the place, the route, because they're not even being looked at. And we have to live with this drama. The problem with these placeholders, they're trying to make things the standard. And then the people who are trying to come up that thought, oh, I lost my opportunity, they're going to try to copy that standard. And it hurts even more.
Yeah, so the standard becomes really low.
Knowledge transfer is something that's very fucking important. And everyone says that word and throws it around. But the reality of it is, do you have an actual agenda of how you're going to do knowledge transfer? How you're going to empower? No, I don't
want
see
to be
any of that.
gatekeepers.
Everybody's a gatekeeper here.
Everybody wants to be a gatekeeper. There's very rarely that have I met someone. The people that I respect and that I've had conversation with, let's say in the fashion industry, they know themselves. They know my opinion on them. So they will not feel attacked by this. The others, all gatekeepers, all trying to push other people down.
Trying to keep for themselves.
Exactly. So if you feel like I'm talking about you, then yes.
It is about you. It's definitely about you.
Then yeah. So it's this thing, this jealousy thing of an industry that's not even set up yet. There's space for everybody, guys. You know, just calm down, be realistic.
It's always a takeover. Everybody wants to be the best and the only person and be called the one.
See, everybody wants to be the best isn't a bad attitude. Everybody wants to be the only. That's a different conversation.
There's only one person who's the only one, and that's Rex.
Exactly.
Everybody else is just.
But the thing is, Rex is in his own world, so it's not even in our plane.
Well,
of existence.
here's the beautiful thing. When you look at, when everyone's telling me about like, oh, what a struggling artist is, and I have a friend
who has struggled,
who struggled, which is basically Rex, and his output, nobody has a fucking excuse.
No one. When you have someone just like that, dedicated, passionate, just as dedicated as y'all, just as passionate as y'all, loves his work as much as y'all, but the output, that's like, I think we spoke about it last year, or after Formula One. Me and the boys, we actually had a discussion. We're like, what did Rex do over the last year? And when we started naming it down, Rex took over 2021.
The list didn't stop.
Yeah.
He did. And he topped it off with the Formula One at the end.
Yeah.
Exactly. So no one has an excuse. And it's just, if you're not being platformed by these publications or whatever, you don't need to.
Everyone's looking for that.
You don't need to. Everyone wants that. Okay, let's talk about that. Who are the publications? Vogue Arabia, Esquire, GQ. When is the last time you read them? When is the last time someone bought it? How relevant are they?
Oh, okay. I'm going to disappoint you right now. I know 5 people that bought it because they were in it. That's it. Because they were in it. That's it. And their family bought it because they were in it.
So, but here's the thing. Like, I'm looking at these publications. Why are we bending over backwards for them? Why are brands spending money to ship stuff to them when these people are living in Dubai and just checking off a checklist? Oh, 5 Saudi brands you should look out for. Those articles, meaningless. Galag has been on Vogue. Galag has been on Vogue. It's been on GQ. It's been on Esquire. It's been on all the... Okay, Esquire, I respect the most because they actually asked about the brand. They did a whole study on the brand.
Okay.
But still, did not move the needle. Did not change, did not give me any sales. Did not give me any exposure. Did nothing. The only thing it gave me is a couple of Instagram posts where people put fire emojis.
And that was the first one.
So
let's go.
And this is what's believed about. People think about support. I'll get into that in a sec, but I'm looking at this. I'm like, why do we care about these people? They need us.
You said a second ago, why are we trying to please them?
That's the thing. I don't get it.
And this is not only about like the publication. It's all across the board.
It's all across.
Why
but this
are we always trying to please
more specifically?
people?
Like if you look at now, you look at what actually is good exposure? What actually is effective exposure? I can name you a couple of Instagram curation accounts. All they do is they don't even talk. They just put the stuff that they like, and that's it. And they have a lot of followers.
That's the new exposure.
That's the exposure. That's the relevance that you have
Yeah.
now. That's what
And
sells.
you could do it on your own.
Like, I'll give you an example. There's Hidden NY. I don't know if you know the...
Of course, I know
So
Hidden.
Hidden.
I love Hidden NY.
So Hidden, if he puts one t-shirt I have, I'm selling out the entire collection.
Oh, word?
That's how people respect his name. One t-shirt, the whole collection will go.
But also, like, you
here-
respect Hidden also because you know when Hidden posts something, you know it's a
But that's
value.
that's the thing. He's not putting a checklist. He's actually, it's the stuff that he likes, the stuff that he finds. So that's where I'm looking. That is what the right exposure is. He is 100 times more effective. That's why you look at High Snobiety, you look at all these people, they're clamoring to kind of do things with him. They're clamoring, and all that. And I remember when he was smaller, when the account was smaller, and how kind of the buildup happened. The buildup, it was quick, but it's over years. Consistency, and being consistent to what he posts, and never posting ads, never posting that. It's consistently his curation. So if you look at those kind of Little Jupiter, whoever, those kind of people, those are the new relevant publications, where Vogue, GQ, all these people, they're a relic right now.
They're basically what they are now are the influencers that we have in front of us.
What they are now are cassette tapes.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
yes.
fair point.
Yes,
Fair point.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's actually true.
They're the old guard, essentially.
They're the old guard, and they're trying to hold on so much to what they had, and they're pretending that they're relevant, that it's ridiculous to watch.
Come on, they're in the industry that said keep faking it until you make it. Well, you think they're gonna forget the roots?
Oh,
no,
my bad,
they
my
keep
bad.
on faking it until they make
My
it.
bad.
Yes, but not only that, the major issue that I have is that you said it like a few minutes ago. Like we spend time trying to please people who are not taking the time to understand our culture. They want us to bend whoever we are or what we are into something that they can understand in order for them to say, okay, now I like you. So you go and bend over backward trying to please them. When in reality, they're not buying your shit.
Yeah.
They're not going to accept your shit. You're just this person that came that like an exotic fucking pet. They're going to take you around maybe once or twice and show you off and it's over.
And they have
couple
this
of pictures.
one-dimensional kind of vision of what you are. Okay, every photograph is either at Madan Saleh or at
Say it.
Neom Desert
Say it.
or
There's another one. Say it.
البلد.
البلد. There you go.
I'm like, if I see one more damn photo shoot في البلد, I swear to God, like I implore all Saudi photographers, do not shoot, refuse any jobs to shoot in البلد. إذا شفت روشن واحد in another photo shoot, I swear they all look the same.
I agree.
And they're getting me these like luxury suits in البلد. I'm like, how is there a connection? It's the aesthetic, It's like what,
Aesthetic.
It's this producer guy calling from Dubai, and the Saudis are like, okay, we have to do it.
I want البلد.
Yeah, it looks so good, It's like, and it's mind blowing because they're not here. They don't know the communities that are here, and they don't know that there's so many different communities with the creative, with all that. And I think that's something you guys talked about, like the Riyadh and Jeddah communities, how different they are.
Yeah, that's a huge.
And that's something I've discovered recently.
Yes. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Something I discovered recently. Like I told, once I left the house, I started to realize there's people outside my house.
Yes, there's people with forks.
Yeah, and what actually brought me
Open
out,
the warehouse, whatever you're locking up in there. Yeah.
Release the clothes.
and it was because of the pop-up where I had to leave the house, I had to go see, and especially the 2 years of COVID and all that, seeing how the community's changed.
No one took COVID more seriously than you. I'm gonna tell you that, my friend.
I have not caught it for 2 years.
Allah yahfazka,
So,
inshallah you never catch it.
Alhamdulillah.
But
So
you
clearly,
were-
you know what? I was in a room in Riyadh after Middle Beast when everybody had COVID.
I think it was our room.
No. It was.
What do you mean, our?
It was a. It was a launch.
Turks, got COVID also.
I
It
never
was,
got
it was a
COVID.
launch for a brand that we
We
all went
launched
to.
after Middle East. I'm trying to remember. It's not important. Anyway,
It's not important, and also I don't want to bring it up again because So, and I remember I was the only one with a mask, and then all of a sudden everybody that was there had COVID. and I didn't. So if there's
I'm gonna tell you the funniest thing during COVID when it comes to Sultan. I saw this Snapchat account and it was his brother's wedding. And everybody pulled up, and all of a sudden you see someone in the back pull up with a mask. Bitch did a mask. That's Sultan. Like, I know my boy.
but so that kind of brought me out, and I
one.
started meeting people, and as you know, and you think when you came to Jeddah, you saw sort of like this sort of communities that I've been kind of getting in touch with and all that, and it's.
Shout out to 16th Street, Urban Lot, Kamal, the boys.
I mean, those guys have really like. They've shown me a lot, and they've given me a lot in terms, and I don't think they know how much they've given me in terms of perspective, to be honest. And I actually thank Rex and Proud, because that event that they did opened my eyes to that community much more.
But at the same time, because of that community, if you really sit back and look, a lot of quality that we get out of Jeddah communities. When it comes to Rex, Proud, you, 16th Street, Vod.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much great quality of work and commitment that we get out of Jeddah in terms of output more than we do anywhere else.
And here's the funny thing is that there are more platforms in Riyadh.
That's the funny thing.
There are more communities in Jeddah.
Yes.
So talking about communities.
Look, that's the thing.
Let's be real. There's a lot of talk when it comes to Riyadh.
Yeah, when it comes to Riyadh, there's a lot of people that talk.
I mean, I remember
they build communities and they build families.
I mean, I remember a specific someone that was on this podcast talking kumbaya. How,
Well, she was talking kumbaya because she had a dream. Okay,
I mean, listen,
then reality
here's-
smacked that dream away.
but here's the problem with that dream, how it was executed, because they wanted to build the community after طلعوا سجل تجاري, commercial license.
True.
Copyrighted the name.
True.
Made a logo and probably stationery
True.
all over it. You know?
Yes.
Get the
Everyone had
emails,
business cards.
get the emails, the business cards right. Get the domain name. You're good. Cool. And probably had a whole Instagram account with
Ready. Packed.
no followers, but like 50 pictures already posted.
So the second you walk in,
You see the
everything is
back,
ready.
yeah, exactly. And then they're like, "Okay, you're an artist. Come here. Like that.
Then you start begging.
And then they all come in. You have this group of random artists that have nothing in common. Like,
And they have no clue why they're there also.
yeah, and you're like, okay, play together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Get along.
And they
Get along.
wonder
Yes.
why it fell apart. They wonder why all these things fall apart. Because you don't create a community by creating a platform first. This is not if you build it, they will come.
Sadly, they can't hear you right now because they're busy trying to build it.
No, but here's what: if you build it, they will come. That only works when you actually talk to the community. They built the platform before knowing what the community is.
And know what the community wants.
Yeah, and that's a huge issue. And now I look at Jeddah, I look at the community there. Okay, there's a community, they're tight knit. There's no platform, so that's sort of where I am now. It's like, how can I support?
Jeddah reminds me of growing up with people who love to hustle. We know we do not have the opportunity, but we're going to fucking create that opportunity for ourselves. We're not going to wait for you to give me a handout. I'm going to be ready and try to go forward before you even give me a handout. When in Riyadh, a lot of people are like, yo, I want to be this. Won't you build me a system for me to be that? And that's all they want.
So that gives Jeddah people a better opportunity to shine, because the ones that make it are actually worth the spotlight.
Yeah.
And they work their ass off.
And it's just kind of seeing these communities. I'm like, okay, guys, why are we not looking at them? Why are we not supporting them? Because when they can practice what they love for so long without anyone giving them any support, what would happen if you actually support them
Facts.
and know what they want first? Let's kind of be blunt. I'm talking about the skaters.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the skaters in Jeddah, Silly Boys Jeddah, هنا كمان في Riyadh. In Riyadh, there's Sand Lifers. Those two are like the main ones. So I'm seeing these guys and they're practicing every day in the heat. They're going. The guys in Jeddah don't even have a skate park. They're doing it in little Noras, Hadiq Noras, and they're just doing it and just trying to improve, trying to work. And they created this community, and no one is. And all brands, they come, they use them for photo shoots and content, and khalas, it's fine. And they're very conscious of it. So whenever a brand comes to them, oh, it's for the culture.
So they can
They
use them.
laugh at that phrase, by the way, by now. When everyone says for the culture,
'Cause
that's
everyone
the
knows it's
joke.
fake.
brands come in, they use them as an aesthetic. Come, let's do a photo shoot, let's do a video. And then when they're done, okay, guys, bye.
Yes.
We want, and also there's an issue.
And also they have no rights to anything.
Oh no, nothing at all.
They have full ownership on them.
Exactly. And you look at, and sometimes when events are set up, and this isn't the fault, it's the perception of street culture. What is street culture? It's hip hop, whatever, DJ music,
Streetwear.
B-boys, streetwear, skaters, right? The issue is, you look at all these events, they want to put all of them together
and one
all the time.
Yes.
There's no space for all these people. There was an event. There was an event in the City Walk in Jeddah that was meant to be like a street sort of event. It was successful. It got people, but when you talk to the skaters after, they hated it because they're like, we don't have space to actually do the tricks, and we're treated like we're like, you know, goldfish in a fishbowl. It's like, hey,
look at them.
People are all looking
Dance,
at them,
dance.
waiting for them to actually do the trick, and that's not how it works.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a competition. It's not a contest where you have, but they're looking at them, and that makes it. It's like all these people around them just
They want to
do the trick. You have to do it right, and if you embarrass it, it starts getting there. So it's not.
Dance monkey dance.
And this is
Exactly.
And this is just, by the way, things you just sit and talk, know what they want, know what they're facing. That does not happen a lot here. So I'm like, if it's that simple, how come people don't do it? So when you came and saw sort of how I was with Kamal, with these guys, so we're working out a way, okay, how can we support these guys, but actually not support these guys where it's like, Galag is championing the skate culture and all that. I'm like, that's not. I'm like,
This is what I love so much about what you guys do in Jeddah is that it's not about my brand. It's about really for the culture that we're trying to bring
It is, but also you have to actually be honest with yourself and me as Galag, as a brand. And I told this to the guys, the skaters, City Boys. I thought, I'm like, listen, because one of them said, listen, you're doing a lot for us and we don't know how to give back, right? We don't know how to. I'm like, listen, maslahti, what I'm getting out of it is going to come later.
Exactly.
It's going to come way later. Right now, I need you guys to grow in order to achieve what I want to achieve. So you will benefit from this and be able to be self-sustainable. And then my association with that growth, that'll help me later.
Yes, but it's not about your brand being seen in the community.
No.
It's about actually building a community that helps everybody around them.
Exactly. And by that association, by like, it's not going to be hidden, but like, hey, we're going to be around. But by that association, automatically it'll help. But the fact that it helps this community grow and be self-sustainable, not dependent on me.
You're not using them basically. You're benefiting.
And I've been straightforward. Listen, I'm like, look, if it ever feels like I'm taking advantage, tell me. This feels like it's taking advantage of us. I'm like, fine, because sometimes I see things differently, right? Because I don't see your perspective. Then we can have a discussion about it. Like, okay, this is where I'm coming from. This is where it benefits you. This is where I'm thinking. So it's all about having conversations. It's all about actually figuring out what they need, not assuming what they need, and then trying to guess and know what.
So basically, what we get from all of this is that there's a huge disconnect for where people should be, where the industry should be going, and where people are trying to make it go.
Yeah.
And basically, and that falls into all the categories when it comes to art, fashion, music, and so on, so on, so on. Everybody has an idea of what it is, but nobody's really talking to the right people or talking to the community itself.
Exactly. And just look at them. I'll tell you, so in Riyadh here, I know we brought the Jeddah guys here to meet with the Riyadh guys. First time they come to Riyadh, all of them, and meet the...
Oh, for real?
So they all got together for the first time. Normally the Riyadh guys come to Jeddah.
For mating season.
And the thing is...
Skater mating season. They migrate.
For mating season.
But just kind of...
There's so many skateboards in the streets today.
But there's a lot of... You look at how there is a genuine feeling within that community that's like they just love doing this.
They never met.
No, they met. They know each other and they know of each other. But there's skate parks here. There's no skate parks in Jeddah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So they come here and they're all on the skate. Dude, they spent 8 hours just skating.
But that's the
they would
thing.
not stop.
See,
So-
that says a lot about exactly what we were talking about. And Jeddah, even if it's not available, we make it work. And the other, it's available, but everyone has their own idea of what makes it work, and nobody's talking to each other.
Yeah, and I feel like when these platforms are made, they're made for that the community to be dependent on the platform. It's not the platform will enable this community to be self-sufficient without them.
Yeah, it's,
And there's
putting
an-
the cart before the horses.
Yeah, and there's an inherent issue with that. You're meant to enable, not meant to just put under your umbrella.
Isn't it now from all these issues? Because right now, because everything is happening, like even with the 100 brands, it's happening. So everyone's just waiting to see a result. But whenever
Tell
that
me
result
something.
is done, okay, and people see nothing, that's going to discourage the people and the market.
Exactly.
You're going to make it even worse than it was before.
I mean, let me ask you a question. So you look at the 100 brands exhibition in New York, right?
Yeah.
Did any of these brands actually, their exhibition in New York, the fact that they went to New York, was that due to their work or due to them being taken there?
Taken all day.
So this is a genuine question. And because if that happened to me, I would not be satisfied. I wouldn't know if I'm happy. The fact that I'm just being displayed in New York because someone else took me there and I haven't earned it as Galag.
Man, you keep talking about people who have value. Relax, man. You have to remove your value out of it in order for you to understand what's going
This is
on.
why I'll never make it.
Exactly. Because you actually love and care about what you're doing and you understand it. You know, hey, don't dangle me in front of people and say, oh, this is the person. No, I want my hard work to take me to places. Well, your job is to make sure that my hard work doesn't go to waste. Your job is not to fucking take me and tangle my bitch ass in front of people and say, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. No, this is bullshit. Until now, I haven't seen anything that says, yo, we should give a shit. The only reason we're all giving a shit is because we searched for ourselves, because we were hunting for ourselves, and because we wanted it for ourselves, because we loved it. We know the value of streetwear, and we want to be a part of it, and we want to be local. We did it ourselves. No one did it to us. But now they're coming in trying to tell us how we should run shit. Imagine someone just coming to Rex and telling him, listen, we love your work. We know how to make it better. Just imagine that. Someone who has this on lock. He can do it in his sleep of how good he is and how creative and how out of the box he is. And this loser comes out of nowhere and says, I can make you better. Your job is not to make me better. Your job is to open the door for me to be better. And you don't know what is making me better.
Exactly. And especially when working in the creative
God,
industry.
I hate so many people right now. Swear to
I can
God.
feel it. I can see the smoke.
Bro, it's
coming out of
really,
your
look, I've been telling myself for the last year that I'm not going to be throwing these fits over this bullshit and I'm going to ignore a lot of things. But the reality of it is, it really fucking hurts. It really hurts when I see all of this happening to everybody. Everybody. It hurts me to this day that Rex doesn't get the level of recognition that he deserves, even though he has a lot of level of recognition. But he should be on a fucking mantle.
He's the guy.
Yes.
He's the guy. To be honest with Rex,
Amen.
He's the most visible. He's consistent.
Yes.
I've never heard him say no.
Creative.
He created his own world, like with Chumi, with that.
Yes.
There's a narrative with his work. You know, there's vibes and energy with his work.
A lot of vibes. It's his vibes.
It's his vibes and energy.
Yes.
It's all different ball game.
It's authentic.
It is.
Exactly.
It
It's
is.
from him.
Exactly.
I know him. Let me tell you, did I tell you the first story that when I met Rex and not the person I knew before?
Yes.
Yeah. So I was in New York. I was in his apartment. I've known him for years. All right. And he was talking to me. I was visiting New York and I came. He's like, yo, yeah, I know with my art and all that. And in my head, I know the guy. Like, yeah, it's one of these things. It's all this. And I told you this before. Yeah. I'm like, this is all bull. This and all that. Sure, I'll humor him.
بسلك لك.
Hey, بسلك. أنا سلكتك اليوم. قسم بالله. And I'm like, all right, so it's going to be one of those nights. How long till I
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I can go to the cafe at the corner and just chill and decompress. And then he opens a room in his apartment, his art room. The amount of painted canvases that I saw there. And when I looked, I was like, oh.
Yes.
No. This is not a joke. Self-taught. Like he hasn't like, and he can tell that it's self-taught. Like it's very raw.
You know, when someone says, you know, he could tell self-taught music was trash.
Yeah, it was trash.
It was trash, Rex. That's what he's trying to say.
No, it's not
in a respectful way.
No, I'll tell you. No, I'll tell you why I said that, because there's a certain progression of how complicated and how it went. Because I remember he had his first piece, I think it was the golden one, that one, that I love so much. And he said it was his first piece, and it was doodles. It was mainly doodles. But then you look at the painted canvases and that progression, you're like, oh, okay.
And that's why you like the first one, because you understand where it's going to go.
Not necessarily. I just liked it because it looked cool, to be honest.
I'm sorry that I gave it depth, Rex. I apologize, bro.
But maybe like subconsciously, but that's when I knew this was real. That's when I knew he wasn't joking, because he did the work. A lot of the people talk.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I want to do. Whatever. My brand is about, Saudi traditional modernity, but it's like a scissor logo. And I'm like, wow, what is that?
Gus shut. Sorry. I'm sorry. It had to be.
He has an effect on you. He has an effect on you.
It's just over, bro.
That's a Turk. He's a ventriloquist. He came out of you.
I beat him real quick to it, yeah.
I'm proud of that moment.
Thanks, Daddy.
But
Okay.
It's like the third time.
It is all, it's looking and filtering out the people who don't actually, who don't do it for the right reasons. That's hard to do, because you can never guess intent. Someone might have all the right reasons, but they don't have the talent to do it, which is fine. Work with someone who has the talent to execute what you do, but don't try to gatekeep. Because I look at a lot of people who create these platforms, they want to be part of the creative community, but they're not creative. So how can I thrust myself into this? I'll run this platform. So I'm in the middle of this. So I get the recognition. So I meet these creatives that I'm a fan of, or whoever. And I'm there. I'm called the new generation of enablers.
You're called a curator.
Those who can curate?
Curate,
yes,
exactly.
So you look at these, and I'm very cynical. I think because I don't thrust myself into the community. I don't push myself there. So I look at it from afar. So I tend to look at everything in a cynical way, where I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, it can be a good thing and a bad thing, but I like, if anyone is still here listening to this, you can understand why you would feel that way, because that's also been the issue. Like all of us will feel the same way. Like, yo, is this person really about what he wants to be or who he is? It's important for us to understand, am I going to invest my time and effort to back someone up if that's not really who he is?
Exactly. And it's hard. It's
It
hard.
is, bro.
Hard
It
to
is.
realize,
It is.
because
It is.
people know what to say, to be honest.
Exactly, man.
Especially with the platforms. Like,
Have you seen? You didn't see Proud's interview with us? He knew what to say.
Proud knows what to say at all
At all
times.
times.
He has the gift for gab. You know what I mean? He's just
Oh
like,
my god, bro.
he's
Look,
that.
we can do this for the next 16 hours, right? And
we have another podcast prepared for the film. so-
exactly yes.
Prepared
Yeah.
for-
There's gonna be multiple
Round
podcasts
two.
with Sultan right here.
Oh no, that one I say look forward to me being shunned out of every creative industry after that one.
No, you're gonna be great. But
I
look,
can't wait. I can't wait.
I'm setting up the takeaway. But I'll tell you what's my fear,
What?
or at least my biggest fear. And this is like honestly, genuine my fear when it comes to you, when it comes to Rex, when it comes to Jeed, when it comes to Saud, Entitled, NBL, everybody, all these people that I love who are very passionate about what they do. My biggest fear is that we're going to lose you guys before the industry evolves. And then we would have lost on great quality, commitment, passion, creativity, and all of above. Because what I see for both of you and all the boys involved and everybody involved is that you're so good at what you do that the generation that's come after you, that's inspired by you, will have your work ethic, rather than trying to be like someone else. There's actually a person, Minna Ufina, who made it to the top with his own identity. And I really hope we don't get to that day without seeing everybody who as passionate as you guys are being in that place.
I think, you know, that's definitely a fear that I have as well. Like, it comes to a point where I'm just like, all right, I'm out. But I look at Rex, I look at Sultan Jeed and
All the boys.
I see them actually, I don't know if it's consciously or subconsciously, is that they're trying to position themselves in a way where they're dependent on themselves, which is, I think, the correct way. Because I think if I was about to call him by his name, if Rex, it's right in front of me.
I told you, erase that name.
He's right in front of me. No mask.
Exactly.
You know, just flip the camera. You'll know who he is. So with him, because he's worked independently before. So with him and Dhad, they've built themselves in a way where they can do this on their own independently.
True.
Alhamdulillah, there's people with sense that sees them and actually supports them. With Saud, Bridge, and, you know, with Bridge Entertainment, with Empire, with all that, he's able to have that platform. With me, I've always looked at it in a way where I want to work where I'm not reliant on anybody. So
no handouts.
No handouts. So if someone thinks they can take something from me, or believes that they have given me something or an opportunity or something that they can take from me, I don't care. They can do that.
I've been self-sustained for a long, long time, bro.
That's why I stay home.
Yes. Okay, but now you got out.
Yeah, now I'm out.
Man, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming to Riyadh as usual.
Thank you for the past Kabsa therapy session.
Oh, I appreciate you. Even though we've been here for like 8 hours already.
If only it was recorded before.
I know. Oh, thank God it wasn't. Thank God it wasn't. Especially with Chun-Li thighs and shit. Anyway.
All right.
Anyway.
Beep that out.
No, I'm not beeping nothing out. We're keeping that. We're keeping that. Shout out to this is number one. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate all of y'all. We'll explain that joke later on to y'all.
Never.
But anyway, never.
Can I just say something?
Go ahead.
I feel like, you know, I haven't had much listener number one.
Because he's listener.
True.
No. The second we hang up, you're going to hear those stories, though.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
And here's the thing. Listener number one is not a fashion person, man.
Yes.
He's a thought wearer, man. So I cannot contribute much to this conversation.
The only contribution is Galab ولا كبك. That's it.
Yes.
Don't worry, little boy. Don't worry. I'll take you out and, you know, dress you up. I used to, for a long time, I used to all my hoes. So I got something control, baby. It's going to be double daddy when I'm done with that. Anyway.
He's got a special card.
Let's go. Peace.